Hey guys, how are you all this week? I miss you all, and I hope to see you all again soon. We had our first service back in church this week. It was nice, but none of you were there, so hopefully soon. This week, we had a verse or scripture from Matthew, and I'm going to read it to you and then talk to you a bit about it. It says, "If another member of the church sins against you, go and point out the fault when the two of you are alone. If the member listens to you, you have regained a brother. But if you are not listened to, take one or two others along with you, so that every word may be confirmed by the evidence of two or three witnesses. If the member refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if the offender refuses to listen even to the church, let such a one be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again, truly I tell you, if two agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. For where there are two or three are gathered in my name, I am there among you." Well, let's start off by talking about the easy part, which is where two or three are gathered in my name, I will be there with you. Well, that's Jesus or God saying, if you're all together and you're all in one accord and you're all agreeing and you're praying together and you're worshiping God together, he will be there with you. Obviously not, he's not going to be standing beside you, but he's going to be there with you in spirit and listening to your every word and giving more credence to what you guys are asking for because you're asking for it together. I'm sorry, credence is a big word, but Jenny says I use too many of them. And where it talks about somebody sinning against you, well, let's use your brothers or your sisters as an example. So let's say your brother upsets you or hurts you, or your sister calls you a mean name. Well, maybe instead of going directly to your parents or directly to somebody in charge, you could talk to your sibling about the situation. Now, I'm not talking about hitting each other or calling each other names. I'm just talking about talking about the situation so that maybe you can come up with an answer or a solution without involving anybody else. And that's what it's talking about, right? And then we go on to say, if you can't solve it, then maybe go to a sibling and bring another sibling along to see if you can solve it. And if that doesn't work, then maybe go get your mom and dad or your grandparents or whoever's in charge that day. You see, it's always better to sort the situation out and amongst yourselves rather than involve a whole bunch of other people. You're always going to have a better relationship with those around you if you sort out the issue amongst yourselves and not bringing in a whole crowd of people. So maybe, just maybe, if you took the time to talk to one another, not being mean, not being hurtful, you can solve your problems all on your own. So this week, I'd like you to think of a situation where you've went to your mom and dad and you've told them about something bad your sibling has done. Maybe this week, think about how you could have handled that situation differently. Talk to your mom, talk to your dad, and find out if they've got some input on how you could have handled the situation differently. Then I'd like you to ask each of your parents, your mom and your dad, or your mom and your grandpa or your grandma. Ask them, say, can you tell me a situation that you've been involved in that you could have handled differently by using the principles of this Bible verse? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I love each and every one of you. I miss you all, and I hope to see you all again soon. God bless.